Good morning. This morning I'd like to talk about Nietzsche's philosophy. Now, Nietzsche described the universe as a will to power and nothing else besides, and obviously, as we are a part of the universe, we are a will to power and nothing else besides. But I never agreed with this because I always said that the universe already has all the power. The universe is the creator, it creates this, the universe creates itself. So it already has all the power. It doesn't need to be a will to power, it has the power. And then I said to myself, like, where all philosophies are true. And Nietzsche said, like, we are a will to power. But no, Nietzsche was a will to power. And I feel that this was Nietzsche's mistake. And much of the cause of his suffering, of his illness, of his illnesses, of his anxiety, of his depression, was this will to power. Yeah, and then another thing Nietzsche said was the ascetic man is the most powerful man, the man that can suppress all his impulses. I don't want any fine wine. I don't want any bread and water will do me fine in the hard bed. I'm an ascetic man. I don't want any of these base pleasures. But but I said to myself, how? Because he said he was the most powerful man because it was all about will to power. Everything's about more power, more power. And he said this is the most powerful man because he has power over his mind. He has power over the universe. He has power over his soul. He is the most powerful man. He can say to the universe, you don't control me. I don't want these things. I don't want these. I'll suppress every desire. I'm in control of myself. But as I said, this is tyranny over the mind. This is tyranny over your soul. And all that leads to is a meager, miserable existence. And that's sort of what Nietzsche had, was a meager, miserable existence. And I said to myself, to what end? To what end? What purpose does that serve to anybody else? Only to this is a will to power. That serves no end, only for the sake of power in itself, to say that uh well, as I used to say to my soul, you don't control me, you don't control me. And I could become the ascetic man, uh, uh, and refute, reject, and refuse all all the pleasant things in life, all the nice things in life. But it's my life too. As my soul said to me, it's your life too, and I want you to enjoy it. And I said, well, we're agreed on that. I says, there'd be no problem there. I'll enjoy it, all right. You can be of that. You can be certain. And I do enjoy it. And then I said to myself, well, what about Tyson? Now I can relate to this as well. And I said, so the aesthetic man, I didn't agree the aesthetic man is the most powerful man. Who's this most powerful man? I said, maybe Tyson. After reading Tyson's autobiography, I said, that's the most powerful man. A vulgar display of power, a savage beast. That's his words. A savage animal, a savage beast who could go into the ring and decimate all in front of him. I said, that's a powerful man. But yeah, he couldn't control himself. He couldn't control himself at all. He couldn't control his desires. He couldn't control his emotions. He couldn't control his money. He couldn't control shit. He couldn't control anything. So I said to myself, well, he's not in control of himself at all. So the power is he's just a transformer for the power, he's just a manifestation. I say if you can't control yourself, you cease to exist as a thing in itself. You're just a manifestation of the universe. You're just a manifestation. You're just a current of energy. But you're not actually. This is what I say about Descartes' epistemology. Like it's that, you know. I think, therefore I am. But basically, if you're not the thinker, you cease to exist. By default, you are not. But that's for another video. So basically, I say the power is not, he's not the power. The power is directly the universe. So I said to myself, well, what is the most powerful man then? So yeah, so between the two of them, the ascetic man and the absolute hedonist, we'll call him, the absolute hedonist, maybe the best thing to do is stand back from your life and find balance, which is what I tend to do. But for this requires a revaluation of values. To what has intrinsic value to me? Does gold have intrinsic value to me? Does money have intrinsic value to me? What is my use for everything? What is my use for everything? What is my use for the coffee? What is my use for the cigarettes? What is my use for money? But I don't want money for the sake of having money. It has no intrinsic value to me. There's no money. Like, I don't want money for the sake of having money. The only interest I'd have in money is if I don't hanker after it, but if I have money, if the universe gives me money, the first question I'll ask myself is, how can I best use this? And this applies to coffee, drugs, everything. How can I best use this? And then the pleasure and the power are preferred in difference, but I'll explain this in a minute. So I said to myself, so what is the most powerful man? What is the most powerful man? And I spent a good week deliberating this, and I said to myself, the most powerful man is the Creator. That is the most powerful man. And if you want to be the most powerful man, you have to be a creator. And then, if you live being qua being, you can become the creator. The creator, you can be the creator, and this is the most powerful man. How much more powerful can you be than to become the creator? And I'll give you an example of this, because a lot of people, when they think about creation, you only see the superficial level, but they don't see the depths of this. I'll give you an example. Socrates, for example, all we have is a concept of Socrates. Now, we have very little empirical knowledge. We actually have no empirical knowledge of Socrates. We know very little about the construct of Socrates, only what was second-hand information given to us by certain generals and mainly Plato. So Plato created a concept. Plato created a concept, especially in the Republic, where the different dialogues, including Socrates, is the main protagonist. But he created a concept of Socrates. And that concept became the foundation of Western civilization, of Western society, very much the foundation of Western civilization. And the other big impact on it then was Jesus and Christianity. And what we have too, the same thing applies. What we have of Jesus is very largely a concept created by Saul of Tarsus, or Paul the Apostle. And this is the founder of Christianity. This is the man who created a concept of Jesus. And that concept, this creation of this concept, and that concept of Jesus became very much the foundation and the underlying bedrock of Western civilization. Christianity and capitalism go hand in hand. But two concepts, that's just an example of two concepts, a creation of two concepts, Socrates and Jesus. And this makes Plato the most powerful man, one of the most powerful men. Because even though the likes of Augustus went out and created an empire, and he did create an empire, the Roman Empire, this was created by Augustus. This makes Augustus and Alexander, another man who created an empire, a vast empire. That makes him a powerful man. This is why Nietzsche used to say, I feel I'm more related to Alexander than I do to my own mother, to my own sister. I'll just see what my time is. My own mother, my own sister. Because Alexander, because of this creation, the ability to create an empire is what is where the power comes from. But the problem that Nietzsche made, that I feel that Nietzsche made, was that Nietzsche, for example, suffered. Now, he didn't acknowledge it himself, because he didn't, even though he was he studied Greek philosophy, he didn't seem to apply the Greek philosophy, actually not even a word of it. And then where Nietzsche himself was a creator, he created concepts. He created concepts by questioning the constructs and questioning the concepts. And this is the best way of creation, because when you seek to understand the universe, then you can live in accordance with the universe, and you can create in accordance with the universe. But it must start by questioning the constructs and questioning the concepts. So the first thing Nietzsche did was question the constructs, which was the Christian church, the Christian church. So he questioned the construct and he questioned the concept. What is your concept of God? So if you to be the best creator, really you have to start by questioning the constructs and questioning the concepts, because destruction and creation are a binary opposite, so they go hand in hand. So you have to question the constructs, destroy the constructs, and at the same time build new constructs. Now that might be a building, that might be a belief system, that might be a hierarchical system, but destruction and creation go hand in hand. But it must start by understanding nature and questions. So if we were to start with a few concepts, if we were to question the concept of I say all philosophy should start with ontology. The concept of I, the concept of mind, and your concept of God. So what is your concept of I? What is your concept of mind? What is your concept of God? So, for example, Nietzsche questioned the concept of God, but his concept wasn't very good, because what he talked about was the will to power was effectively arose by any other name and still arose. But for example, like as I say, if you were to question the concept of Jesus, this is very much created by Saul of Tarsus, and then the Council of Nicaea met, and they agreed on a unified concept which they were going to peddle to everybody, in which they became a powerful empire in itself. Yeah. So what was the mistake I'm saying that Nietzsche made is that if you want to be the most powerful, it's not the thing is not to want to be the most powerful. You have to, it comes from creation. I want to create. For example, someone asked me the other day, do you get paid here? And I said, no, I don't get paid here. And I said, well, what's the attraction? Why do you want to be here? And I said, I get to create. I have a concept for this hostel, and I am going to strive towards creating a construct that aligns with my concept. I'm going to bring it from here to here. I'm going to make this one of the best hostels in the world, but by my perception of what a good hostel is. Yeah, by my perception of what a good hostel is. But I have a concept, and I'm going to create a construct. And the best, but I have no interest in money. I have no interest in power. They are preferred and different. They are a consequence of creation. Now, not that I have any interest in these things, I just want to create. And when I create my concept here, I have other ideas. I have a concept, I have a massive concept. This is just, like me in the universe, this is just a small part. But I am the creator. We're creating this together. I'm not an egotistical person. We are creating together. Myself, my soul, the universe, we are creating this together. And this is what Seneca called getting the orchestra of the mind to play in harmony. We're striving towards one goal. Where did I get this goal? I had the balls to cling to it. No fears, no desires, no aversions. I'm just aligning my opinions with the transformations of the universe. Yeah. But I just want to say one last thing on creation where Nietzsche went wrong. Nietzsche envied Wagner. Wagner, and he tried to copy Wagner. But where Wagner got all his power, all his influence, all the love, which Nietzsche so much desired, because this is evident, he wanted everyone to lick his arse, was because he said, I'm not interested in money, I'm not interested in power, I just want to create. But Nietzsche didn't. Nietzsche wanted everyone to lick his arse. Nietzsche didn't create for to create. Nietzsche just wanted to impose his will. He wanted to be powerful. And the next thing I want to explain is that the people think that like the Jews think that money is the biggest incentive. Money and decadence is the biggest incentive to creation. But money and decadence is not the biggest incentive to creation. Love is. And this took me a while to work out. But this is the thing. The thing about love is you then have to say to yourself, what is your concept of love? What is your concept of love? Like, you have to question every concept. And if you say to yourself, what is your concept of love? Well, when you look at it, love is all the emotions. If you really question your concept of love, love is all the emotions. So if you look at the symbol for gay pride, the rainbow colours, you have purple for power, you have blue for trust, you have red for anger, you have yellow for fear, you have green for envy. These are all the colours, are representative of all the emotions, because love is all the emotions. And that's what makes love the greatest energy of all. And this is the most powerful force. Love, the most powerful energy of all. And that's why at some stages I even feared this, because I said to myself, can I control this? Because if you can't control this, it has the potential to destroy you. But if you learn to manage one emotion at a time, and then you can take them all on together, it's like the chariot racing. You learn to race with one horse, 2 horses, 3 horses, and with great skill, and once you develop great skill, you can race with 10 horses. But this takes tremendous skill to race with 10 horses. Yeah. But love is the greatest energy of all, and this is the most powerful force for creation. And that's why Elon Musk, them all say love is the answer, love is the answer. But it's not fucking money. Because if it's money or anything else, and the creative process can cause an awful lot of stress, anxiety, depression, because you say to yourself, you know, oh, do not like my work, I may go.